I remember the taste of dust on my tongue and the sting of blood in my mouth the night I thought my life had ended. The moon hung low over the desert, pale and merciless, and the coyotes were already howling their hunger song. My body was weak, beaten by fever and exhaustion, and my spirit felt ready to surrender. I was an Apache woman without a tribe, without a home, and without hope. I lay down on the hard earth, my chest rising shallow, my eyes closing to meet the darkness I thought would be my last. The cold pressed in, and I whispered to the spirits of my people, asking them to guide me home. I wanted to die quietly, beneath the endless stars, with no one left to mourn me. But death did not come. Instead, when my eyes opened again, I was not beneath the sky. I was inside a cabin, wrapped in the warmth of a quilt. The smell of smoke and pine filled my lungs. And when I turned my head, I saw him. A cowboy. Tall, broad-shouldered, sun-browned, his hat laid on the table beside him. He was sitting in a chair by the fire, boots stretched out, watching me like a man caught between worry and wonder. His eyes blue as a mountain lake met mine, and in that instant, I knew the world had not let me go. The hook and setup. I wanted to rise, to speak, but my body was weak. My throat was dry as sand. He noticed my struggle and came to my side. "Don't try to move," he said softly, his voice deep and steady, the kind of voice that made a woman believe she could trust him even if she had no reason to. "You were half dead when I found you. Fever near took you. But you're safe now." Safe. I had not known that word in so long. His hand calloused from years of rope and reins lifted a cup of water to my lips. The coolness slid down my throat, and tears burned my eyes. I did not understand why this stranger, this white cowboy, had taken me in. My people had been hunted, driven from our land, treated as enemies. And yet, he looked at me not as an enemy. Not as a thing. But as a woman. I slept again, wrapped in warmth, my dreams mixing with the crackle of firewood. And each time I woke, he was there. Cooking beans in an iron pot, mending tack at the table, humming low as if he were keeping me tethered to the world. Dash dash. The conflict and connection. Days passed, and my strength returned slowly. He told me his name was Caleb. He found me collapsed by the riverbank, skin burning with fever, too light to carry much farther. He laid me across his horse and brought me here to his cabin, a place hidden among tall pines at the edge of the prairie. When I could finally sit upright, I asked him why. "Why did you save me?" I whispered. His eyes softened, and he shrugged, though I could see the truth weighed heavy in him. "Because I couldn't ride past and leave you to die. Not when I had a chance to help. Out here, life's hard enough. Folks ought to look out for one another." I turned his words over in my heart. Out here, kindness was rare. It could cost a man his life, and yet this cowboy had chosen mercy. But even as warmth bloomed between us, I felt the shadow of danger pressing close. To many, I was only an Apache woman, a mark of hatred. If word spread that Caleb was sheltering me, he could lose everything, his land, his peace, maybe even his life. One night, I tried to leave. I slipped from the quilt, my bare feet silent on the wooden floor, my hand on the latch. But his voice stopped me. "Don't go." I turned, and there he stood, the firelight casting gold across his jaw. "You're not strong enough yet. And even if you were, I wouldn't want you to." My chest ached at his words. No man had ever asked me to stay. I had always been a burden to bear or a ghost to fear. but Caleb looked at me as though my presence gave him something he had been missing. Slowly, I lowered my hand from the door. From then on, we shared more than silence. He asked me about my people, and I told him of the mountains, of the dances by the fire, of the songs my mother once sang to me. And he told me of his childhood on the plains, of losing his brother to outlaws, of building this cabin with nothing but sweat and hope. Our stories wove together like two threads, fragile but strong when bound. The resolution and reflection. One evening, as the sun sank red behind the hills, I stepped outside for the first time since my sickness. The prairie wind touched my face, carrying the scent of sage and wildflowers. Caleb stood beside me, his hat tilted low, his hand resting near mine on the porch rail. "Do you regret it?" I asked softly. "Taking me in?" He looked at me, long and steady. Then he shook his head. "I don't regret saving a life. And I don't regret meeting you." My heart trembled like a wild bird in my chest. I thought of the night I had closed my eyes, ready to die alone beneath the stars. And now here I was, standing alive, the sky blazing with color, a cowboy at my side. I knew the world outside his cabin walls might never understand. They might judge, whisper, or even seek to harm us. But in that moment, none of it mattered. Because I had been given a second chance not just at life, but at love. And as I looked at Caleb, his hand finally finding mine, I realized something deeper. Sometimes the frontier takes everything from you. It breaks you, starves you, leaves you to the wolves. But sometimes, it gives back. Not in the way you expect, but in the way you need most. I was an Apache woman who closed her eyes to die. But when I opened them again, I found myself in a cowboy's bed, wrapped not just in quilts, but in mercy, in hope, and in the beginnings of a love that would change me forever.